Welcome to Brightside Business, where we talk to online entrepreneurs like yourself about how to grow to 7 figures and beyond. My name's Joey Young. I grew my family's professional services business to $100,000 months in 2 years, and I learned a lot of lessons along the way. One of them is how to create and install business systems. If you think about it, a business really is just a series of repeated systems that generate a result that customers pay for. So how do we install these systems in the most efficient way so we can actually grow our revenue like the best of the best? Because if you think about it, like Chipotle, if you get a bowl on the East Coast, it's probably going to taste relatively the same as a bowl you get in San Francisco. Why do they do that? Because they can improve the customer experience. They can have consistency. So I know if I'm on vacation, I get Chipotle, I'm going to get a pretty good bowl of whatever I'm ordering. Number two, lowering confusion and work hours to complete a unit of value. Systems are really helpful for reducing the confusion and the wasted time staff take on figuring out who's responsible for what are we trying to do here, how do we handle this exception, all that stuff. And number three, systems will stabilize a business. If you're looking to sell in the future or you're looking to protect yourself from turnover, if someone quits and they don't write down how they do their job, a business system is the number one way to set yourself up and protect yourself from those scenarios. So the question is, how do we install these systems? How do we do them in a way that's quick, that isn't too laborious, and that we'll actually use so we can increase the customer experience, increase the amount of value we create per work hour, and increase the protection we have in our business against all the turnover that may happen in the future? Well, 3 steps, really, really easy. I'm going to walk you through it right now. This is a very tactical episode, okay? So you can even write this down. Number 1 is identify the area of your business that needs a system. Number 2, have the SOP meeting. Number 3, have a 30-minute follow-up meeting about the SOP. Okay, so number 1, identify the area. Now there's 2 reasons why you might need a system in a particular area of your business. The first one is it's causing a negative customer experience. If there's an area of your business where your staff are complaining, the clients are complaining about the results they're getting, if there's a lack of clarity around who's responsible for something and you're getting negative feedback from your clients about that particular area, that part of your business is ripe for a system to clarify where we're taking care of this particular problem, what broke down, how we can actually line up the tasks that need to get done with the staff member who's going to do them and in the right order to generate a better customer result because there's a problem. So the first one is there's a problem basically. The second reason you might need a business system is because you're trying to capture the genie in a bottle. There's something that's going well that you want to replicate. Let's say you have an excellent salesperson and they're crushing it. They're getting a third more sales than any other team member. And you ask them, what are you doing to get all those sales? And they, give you a few things and then you share it with the other salespeople and they don't actually implement it, so they don't get the same results. Well, that is an area of the business that needs a system because you can't just rely on asking people or suggesting best practices. You want to take that best practice your top salesperson is doing and implement it in a consistent way across every experience that your salespeople creates so that you get the most sales. So those are the 2 ways to choose an area of your business that need a system. Now, what do you actually do to build that system once you know that area needs it? Well, first, you have an SOP meeting. So this is step 2. The SOP meeting is initiated by you sending an email to all the stakeholders who have a part in this SOP. So if they have some responsibility towards the result we're trying to create with this SOP meaning standard operating procedure, if you haven't heard that term before. If they are going to have a role in the SOP, they should be at this meeting. So all the stakeholders should be there. You send an email, schedule a time to meet, and then you ask the person who is the primary stakeholder, who will be having the most responsibility for this SOP, to write a draft of the SOP before the meeting to review at the meeting. So don't come to the meeting with a blank page. Have the person who's primarily responsible for this SOP, who has the most percentage role in delivering the SOP, write the draft. And do it in this particular format. And this is very simple on purpose, so you'll actually do it and it'll be very repeatable. 4 columns on a table. Think about it. Have them write out on column number 1 the step of the SOP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can think about column number 1 as steps, and then the rows going down are 1, 2, 3, 4 steps in the standard operating procedure. Column number 2, just to the right of column number 1, is the task. What is the thing that needs to get done for that particular step of the SOP? Column number 3, the person responsible for that step. Column number 4, any notes, links, or relevant things that need to be written about said task. Very simple. 4 columns, step number, task, person responsible, and any notes or links. Have them write it out in a doc and bring it to the meeting. At the meeting, that person who wrote the SOP draft will share their screen, and you'll all talk through as a team and come to an agreement about how we do things here. That's what you're aiming for. The SOP is basically just how we do things at our company. This is the best practice. This is the way we do it. This is what we are going to do from today onward. Notice you are not using the word universal consensus. We're not looking for everyone to think that this is the best idea. We're not only moving forward if we have universally supporting every step of the SOP. We are just universally agreeing this is how we do things here, even if there are some varied opinions. And it's your job as the leader to work through any differing opinions and have some healthy conflict so that you can come to the best SOP possible at the end of that meeting. At the end of the meeting, think through anyone who might need to know about the SOP who was not present at the meeting and send them a copy of the SOP. Okay, so you have this meeting, you went through the draft, you decided here's how we do things here, you've completed the SOP, it's done, you're using it from that day onward, and you've emailed it off to anyone who might need to know about the new process. That's the second step. Step number 3, you need to schedule a 30-minute follow-up meeting 2 to 4 weeks later. This follow-up meeting is 3 things, 3 questions you answer, and then you're done. So we're not overcomplicating this. This is not laborious. You just got to talk about 3 questions. Number 1, did we actually use the SOP in the last 2 to 4 weeks since we had the SOP meeting? And if we didn't, why not? Answer that question. If you didn't use it at all, it's probably because someone secretly thought they had a better way of doing things in the SOP, so you got to overcome that objection. You got to maybe edit the SOP a little bit or just, tell the person to actually implement it. If you indeed use the SOP, you can move on to question 2. Did it actually create the results that were intended? If it's a great system, but it doesn't create the right customer surprise and delight or the right result for the client that we're working with, it's not a good system. So we got to make sure that not only did we do it, but that it created the intended result. And number 3, are there any edits that we need to make to address the first 2 questions? So did we use it? Did it actually create the result we want? What edits do we need to make? That's how you review an SOP and make sure it's actually doing what it is supposed to do. Very simple process. Hope this simple framework was helpful to you and you can actually use it and implement it in your business. And hey, if you have a question about anything to do with productivity or business strategy, I would love to hear it so I can answer it on the podcast here. Shoot me an email with your question. That's joey@joeyhyoung.com. That's joeyhyoung.com. Or shoot me a DM on Instagram. That's @joeyhyoung on Instagram. Would love to address your question here about anything to do with any of these topics or a problem you're facing in your business. And hey, if you want to actually get some specific advice on how to break through the revenue barriers you're facing in your business and how to get through some of the problems you're facing and scale your revenue, there's a free 20-minute consultation you can book with me in the show notes or in the link in my Instagram bio. Feel free to do that and we'll chat about your business and help you break through some of the problems you're facing right now. And don't forget, if you're all the way to the end of the episode here, there must have been something helpful. So don't forget to subscribe, like this, rate it 5 stars, follow the show, whatever platform you're on. All those things, the thumbs up, they really help the show get pushed out to the right people. So please do that for me if you don't mind. You're at the end of the show here. Give me the thumbs up, the subscribe, the follow, the 5-star review. It's really, really helpful. Thank you so much. And until next time, my friends, happy scaling.